The National Weather Service confirmed multiple tornadoes touched down in parts of Ohio early this morning in the morning hours. The NWS says Highland County was hit by 2 tornadoes, one being an EF0, the other being an EF1. Ross County was hit by 3 tornadoes. Now cleanup begins for residents and crews. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Clay Gordon. One of those tornadoes now rated as an EF2, hitting the small town of South Salem in southwest Ohio. That's where 10 TV's Richard Solomon spent most of his day. And Richard, how is the community recovering?
Well, Clay, I'm told the tornado actually swept through the community. This is just some of the incredible video from today. Houses destroyed, structures lopsided. But as bad as all this seems, one woman tells me they're actually thankful this was all that was destroyed. Through the small town of South Salem, what took years to build was gone in moments.
It took about 30 seconds maybe, and that was about it, and it was done.
The town Erica McNeil lives in has felt the wrath of a tornado. The National Weather Service confirmed it touched down here in Ross County around 1:30 Saturday morning, just feet away from her home.
Just the wind was just crazy, just powerful. It was we didn't have time to get in our cellar.
For something that only lasted half a minute, it took so much.
It was a gym, my husband's gym. The stuff that's left is definitely damaged. I mean, better than our house, definitely.
But the work has already started with helping hands.
The whole community has come together. I would have never guessed that they would be able to clean up this much mess in less than a day.
Paul Minnie is the EMA director for Ross County. He and other crews got to town a little after the tornado hit. He's thankful no one was hurt.
This is so far the worst hit. Some of them are just affected, and then some of them have major damage. We're probably talking at least a week to finish up all the cleanup.
But what was taken within seconds won't tear this community's will to move forward.
Right now, we'll figure out this, but yeah, everyone's okay, so we don't have that to worry about.
Now, we've seen some of the damage that the tornado left, jarring to say the least. But now I want to toss to Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Barrissey. Ashley, what did these conditions look like when it hit?
Well, we had some favorable conditions and some surprising conditions during the overnight for these tornadoes to form, and I'm going to break that down. But first and foremost, thinking of all those families that have to deal with the cleanup, because it is tragic in and of itself, but especially when that comes through overnight, so very scary, and that's when it can be the most dangerous. So what happened overnight in the early morning hours? Our favorable conditions were that we had what we would call more of a tropical air mass clashing with dry Canadian air mass, meaning we had muggy conditions, and then we had this cool, dry air mass that clashed with it, and that can create some instability and what we would say convective energy. But the unlikely scenario is this happened well after midnight, so after sunset, when some of that energy was already sucked out of the atmosphere, and we had some earlier rain showers that would suppress some of that convection as well. So at that time, the Storm Prediction Center actually lifted the severe threat, but the weather around here and all around the country is not a perfect science, and this kind of thing can happen every once in a while. So how does a tornado form? Well, you have surface winds, and then of course the stronger upper level winds that we were forecasting for, knowing that we could see some maybe damaging straight line winds. But those two together caused a rotating column of air. When you get some thunderstorm updrafts paired with that, that's going to push that column vertically. And once it gets into a vertical formation, that starts a wall cloud. From there, that rotating column of air will build downward. If it doesn't reach the ground, it's a funnel cloud. But in this situation, we saw several tornadoes come out of that. You can see the path of these local storm reports where we have 5 tornadoes that are confirmed, and I think we could have more coming in, given that some storm damage was confirmed to be tornadic. It just hasn't been rated yet by the National Weather Service. If you look just south of Clear Creek and north of Laurelville, there's that hook echo that was on radar early this morning at 2 a.m. Right now, though, in the wake of this, we're dealing with drier, calmer conditions, but boy, is it much chillier. 15 degrees cooler right now than just 24 hours ago. We sit at 53. This is not the end of the fall-like conditions. It's going to stay feeling like October for a while, so we'll talk more about that coming up in a few minutes, Clay.
Ashley, thank you. And you were absolutely right. We were thinking of everyone that was in the path of this tornado and all 5 of these so far. We're thinking of you.